Hi everyone and welcome back to Disney and Days Out. So today's video is a little bit different to our normal videos. A little bit of a hint, there's some changes behind me, but also my jumper sort of gives you an idea of what today's conversation and topic is going to be about. I was extremely lucky to be part of a huge movie franchise, a book franchise, which was the incredible Harry Potter.
You're a wizard, Harry.
So, without further ado, what I'm going to do is show you a little video clip of me in the movie, and then we can have a little bit of a chat afterwards and talk about my experience being in one of the most incredible movies of all of our times. So here's the video. Okay, so as you can see, just a little snippet of me in the Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 1. So I'll talk to you about the process with this. So first of all, what the audition was like in preparation for going for this role. So I was part of a casting agency called Ray Knight Casting Agency, which was up in London at the time. It's now moved to Elstree Studios, which is actually quite close to us. They're still going really strong. They're an incredible company to work for, Ray Knight Casting Agency. I remember talking to one lady who again lived near me, and she used to get me quite a few jobs, and when she called me up and said, there's an opportunity for you to be an extra in a Harry Potter movie, and I was like, yes please. I would really much appreciate that. She's like, fantastic, okay. So normally you'd just go and you'd film as an extra once you're part of the agency. However, they wanted you to actually audition. So the first thing I had to do was, you got called to Elstree Studios, and they put everybody in the room that was there, and they said, right, okay, we're going to teach you a small bit of a dance, and we're going to part you up with somebody else in the room, and we are going to video you, come around and see how you react when the camera's around, and just to get an idea of what it's like, and then we'll let you know whether you are successful or not.
That's totally barbaric.
So I was really nervous. I remember thinking, okay, you just got to relax as much as possible, and we got taught this beautiful little traditional dance by the incredible choreographer Anthony Van Last. Now, for those of you who don't know who he is, I'm going to put a picture up here so that you can see. Yes, this is Anthony Van Last. He is an incredible choreographer. He's worked on Mamma Mia, the movie. He's also worked on Beauty and the Beast, the live action, and he is an incredible soul, and I was quite blown away and starstruck when he entered the room and started teaching us this traditional witch wizard dance. So I got partnered up with this guy. He learnt the dance when we were going through it a few times, and the cameras were sort of panning around and just coming up close to you. You had to make sure that obviously not to look into the camera and just act naturally as if you were at a ball enjoying a wedding. Okay, so then after the audition finished, one little sneaky peek that I can give to you was I made a couple of really good friends on my audition day, which was really nice, and that was my friend Rachel and Reggae. And my friend Rachel actually had a friend who was working in the prosthetic area, so we actually got to do a full little look around after our audition and go off and have a look around some of the prosthetics that were made before the making of Harry Potter was actually created. So there's a little bit of an inside stuff for you there. That was incredible. I got to hold the book in the Chamber of Secrets, which was made of, it's like a spider, and you have to stroke the spine so that it opens, and I remember Malfoy opens it and it goes all crazy at him.
Don't be such a wimp, Longbottom.
But yeah, me and Reggae got to hold that along with Rachel. There was a hog's head on like a plinth, and you got to use the animatronics. They let us do that so that we got to move the head around and see how that worked. But they also had Hagrid's head next to it because again, Hagrid's head, when it's filmed from far away is not actually Robbie Coltrane. It's actually the prosthetic, the animatronic head that they put on top of the other actor, but I'll tell you a little bit more about that anyway a bit later on. So yeah, we got to look round. One of the most strangest things I found was when we went in to the prosthetic area and they were putting the tiny hairs into some of the wigs, which was so incredibly detailed. But then you saw on one of the shelves on the side was like a dead Dobby, which was really sad. And there was some of the other characters that were stunned in some of the other movies, but they were so small, obviously, because when like Hagrid's near them, or they have to be obviously made to look smaller than what they are because he's a giant. So that was really interesting to do. And so yeah, that was my audition. I went home, I got the text message saying congratulations that you'd got through and to the next round, and we need you to go and have costume fitting. So then I was really lucky at the time, working in a school as a teacher. My boss said, yeah, you can go, this is fantastic, please go to this. I went back to L Street and they take you into a room and they measured you, they found a costume that would be good for you. So I had this beautiful dress, as you can see, it's like a turquoise and it was like a brown and it was like a velour feeling, and she put it on. She said, that's fantastic, right, you need to wear like a skin coloured undergarments and underwear and also tights as well. I'll find you some shoes that went with it. And she got like jewellery as well. You know, they went full on into detail with just my costume as an extra, and they'd done the same with everybody else that was there. But one of the things that did change when I was there, my first time having my costume fit in, was they actually didn't like my hair colour, and they turned around and they said, oh, you know, it's not really fitting, would you be willing to wear a wig? And I was like, yeah, that's fine, I'm more than happy to do so. So I actually had a wig on to start off with, and then they take a picture and my wig was ginger, and I was like, yes, I'm part of the Weasley family. And I got really excited that I would, you know, probably actually stick out more than being a blonde at the time.
You must be a Weasley.
Because my blonde hair was very defined, but I had these horrific roots. I'll be honest, they were not the best. And yeah, so I had a wig on and it was ginger, and then they take a picture of you so that they know when you go to set on your first call for filming, they've got a picture of what you're wearing and they just give it to you straight away and you go through that process. So yeah, that was that part. And then obviously we got the actual dates for where you're filming, and it was in the summer holidays. I was like, yes, you know, I don't have to book this off with work, which is absolutely fine, and they'll be really happy with it. And yeah, so got the dates, and it was during the summer holidays, and it was for just over a week that we filmed for, so it's nearly 2 weeks. So you went in on our first day and you go to L Street Studio. You are then issued like a pass to get you in, and the roll call was probably about, I think it was about 6 in the morning, and that's if you want to get there early and get there for breakfast and food, which is one thing that I will tell you about. So you're met at the gate, all the extras, and then put on a little shuttle bus, and then you are driven to the location, because if anyone's ever been to L Street Studios up in Watford, it's like an airplane field. That's what it used to be used for. And as you're driving through, you saw like the night buses. I remember us seeing a massive I think it was a massive like, oh god, what's the Robbie Coltrane's character, what was he was a giant, and it was his brother. I don't know his brother's name, I can't remember, but it was one of them, and it was him as like an animatronic outside, and they were trying to cover it up and move it around. So yeah, you could always see things going on every time you were driven onto the set. And then they took you to this like shelter. As you go in, first of all, you can either start with your costume or your hair. Now my hair, again, I was supposed to have a wig, but I dyed my hair previously. So when I come in to sit down, and there's probably about 10 hairstylists and about 10 makeup artists, and then you've got about 5 or 6 people getting you changed for your costume and giving you your costumes. So I remember going in, I got my costume, and then they were like, right, okay, there's space for your hair. And then I had my hair redone because they actually liked the colour, and this is what it looked like. So I'm going to show you a little picture here. As you can see, very cool. Scraped off the face, sort of really sticky out bits of hair there. And you can see some of my jewellery as well, and a bit of my costume, which was really good. Now, my hairstylist actually took this picture for me, which is really nice, because they're so strict on mobile phones. If you get caught with your mobile phone out when you're actually on the set, you'll be asked to leave and not return. So I never had my phone out at all, and it was my hairdresser said, do you want me to take a photo of you? And I was like, yes please, to remember this moment. But I will tell you more about my hairstyle at the end, which is really funny. But yeah, I loved this. It was really cool. It took a while, lots of hairspray, and by the end of the day I'd take it out and your head would hurt so much. It was really sore and my hair would be out here. There's a picture somewhere, I'll have to try and find it, and literally I had a huge mane of hair out to the side with the amount of hairspray and clips that were in it, but it was all worth it in the end. So yes, you had your makeup done, you had your hair done, you had your costumes, and then you'd go into like a waiting area. Now, breakfast was amazing, and there was everything. It was a full English breakfast that you'd get to go to, and it's like a buffet style, so you'd walk around the edge, go and eat your food.
Do you ever stop eating?
I'm hungry.
To be careful, obviously. You would normally have that before you done your get your costume on and your hair and your makeup. Food as well, when it came to lunchtime, and if you weren't on the set, weren't called to the set, so this is like the waiting area. So again, it was like a tent that you were kept in. The food was incredible, every sandwich you could possibly think of.
Let the feast begin.
Was amazing. I remember there was actually peanut butter and jelly. I was like, oh my god, I feel like I'm in America. This is amazing. Incredible experience. The food was incredible. I'm pretty sure I put on like half stone just from that week and a half of being there, because the food was so good. Always tea, coffees, drinks, juices, anything you wanted in this little holding area, and you'd see everybody else. You'd all be sat in one area, and so yeah, that was really good, really good fun. So then let's now talk about the set and the location. So I'm going to put a few pictures up here just to show you of what it was like. So the first picture I'm probably going to show you is what it looked like inside the bunker. So I'm going to disappear for a bit so you can see this picture. So this shows what was videoed and how it looked from the outside, but it was obviously filmed inside. You can see all the lighting to make it look natural in this picture, and you could see all the corn that's around the edge, and these were put on like a bit of artificial grass and stuck down on the floor, and they could move and put them around, because in theory this scene in the Weasley wedding was outside the Weasley's house, and it was in the cornfield, which was really nice. So they set it all up in here, and it was incredible. So you'd be near the set in the holding area, and then they'd walk you through to this little bit, and you'd walk in, you'd see the set, and you're like, oh my god, this is incredible to be here. So one of the first things we had to video was the dance, and when Harry Potter enters the tent, and we first see that. So we done the dance over and over. I had a really lovely partner called Michael at the time. He was really nice. I danced loads with him, and yeah, we just got so familiar with the choreography and just learning and making it look like we're a couple. It was really sweet, and yeah, he was great fun to work with. I met some other friends which I will again tell you about, other than Rachel and Reggae. Yeah, so you do the dance, they'd do takes, and then we'd have to redo it, and quite a few times just to make sure you had it. They had the extras there who were really good, the doubles of some of the main cast. So we got to meet Harry Potter's, so Daniel Radcliffe's double on a couple of occasions, and my friend Simon, who is absolutely incredible, is the funniest guy I've ever met in my life, honestly. Simon, if you ever watch this, you're a ledge. I think you're incredible. He decided, this is a hilarious story, one day he was going to wind up the gentleman who played the double of Harry Potter, Daniel Radcliffe, and he went up to him and goes, "Oh, I just want to say how amazing you are, and the film franchise is so good." And the guy was going, "No, I'm not who you think I am." He goes, "Oh no, don't be so coy, you know, I know who you are, wink wink," like, and he's doing it on purpose, and it was really funny. And then on a couple of occasions he would just stand in the middle of the set still, like he was a statue, and Harry Potter, Daniel Radcliffe, actually walked past him and like was putting his hand in front of him and was like, "What he's doing?" And we were like, "He does this all the time, we love it, but it's really funny." And he then put his umbrella on him and then walked off, which is a lovely story. It was really funny. So yeah, there's lots of people around. Some of the people you do get to meet, I'll tell you more about those, but yeah, so when you're on the set, you've got all these beautiful tables, and on the tables they've got these fantastic decorations. So I'll show you that picture now, just here. So on here you've got like they're like pretend little cakes, and these are not real, they're actually made out of plastic. You could, because we'd pick them up and have a little look and say like, "Can you eat these?" No, you can't. And they gave you pretend champagne, which is just sparkling water with a bit of a tint of lime in it, so that it looked like champagne. So that's what they did there. But you drank it, sometimes you felt a little bit too sick if you drank too much of it. Yeah, the little cupcakes, the tables are really nice. They were quite close together actually, but it didn't matter because there's quite a few of us in here. So guests in the wedding themselves, you had Luna and her dad, who are really nice. They were actually quite quiet and kept themselves to themselves. You had obviously Daniel Radcliffe was there. Emma Watson was there.
I'm Hermione Granger.
She didn't really speak to anyone, but she seemed really nice and quite a little bit quiet and sort of a bit withdrawn, and I just sort of felt for her at one point because I felt like she just didn't want to sort of interrupt anybody, and just wanted to video and focus on what she's doing. So it was nice that nobody interrupted her and just let her focus. You can see as well, I think on one of my pictures, in the background, so there's like a huge picture now that I'm going to put up, and you can see everybody sort of standing round, which is when the Patronus comes in to the middle of the tent. Now that is pretty impressive moment. It's just a box of light, and obviously then they add in all the special effects afterwards.
Ministry has fallen.
And we all had to stand around and look in and hear the voice of the minister who had passed, and this Patronus saying, you know, "The Death Eaters are coming, they're coming," and panic starts to spread everywhere. And my friend Alfie and Reggae got a nice close-up of that one when they went into Julie Walters, and they were standing right behind her, which is really good. Again, a couple of my friends who are absolutely incredible to work with, and miss them loads. So yeah, that scene was really good, especially the running away. You had to sort of really panic, and as if somebody's gonna come towards you with the wand. Some people were given wands to pretend to do attacks with, and were given some moves by some of the choreographers that come onto the set. I didn't have one of those, but I had a part where I had to lay down and pretend I was stranded in the grass, which was fun for a little bit. But yeah, other bits of filming on the set. So there's another scene where you see Daniel Radcliffe's talking to a couple of other characters by the tables, and I'm just behind him in that one, and this was a great scene to film because we knew we were in the background, me and Rachel and Simon and Reggae, and then we had a friend Lorna, and then there was another friend called Jay. Again, a little story with him. He came over and he started giving us really cheesy chat-up lines so that we were laughing and, you know, acting really natural with that, but he was at his chat lines were really cheesy, but he was so funny to work with, and he became part of our close little family, which was really nice. What other things? So yeah, we had the dancing, which was really good fun. And I remember one point where we were doing the dance, and Julie Walters and the guy who plays her husband, so obviously like the Weasleys' mum and dad, started doing this dance on themselves, and it was hilarious. It was completely outrageous but out of the blue, and everyone was standing around watching them and then started to clap along with them as they were doing that.
Thanks, Mummy. She's had a bit too much egg.
So there's like little moments like that which were really incredible to watch. One of my highlights has to be that when I was standing waiting to do my dance, and we were doing the bit where Daniel Radcliffe walks into the tent, he came over and actually started speaking to a lot of us, which was lovely. And he actually turned around and said, "Oh, I love your tattoo on your foot." I was like, "Thank you, it matches my shoes." And it does, it did match. I've got like little butterflies and little flowers that go right along the edge of the shoe on the line, but they're turquoise, and so is the shoes that I was wearing were turquoise. So it made me feel really, really humble that Daniel Radcliffe commented on my tattoo because he liked it. So that was a nice little interaction that I had there. Another one me and my friends did when we were sitting around the table and our friend Jay was giving us the chat up lines is we had the lovely lady Nat who plays Tonks. She was incredible to talk to, really chatty. She absolutely loved talking to us about random things. Some of the stories I won't tell on here because they're quite a little bit past the mark, but one of them was really funny. She actually came to the table and she's like, "Does anybody want a ferret?" And we were like, "A ferret? Why?" And she's like, "Oh, well, my dad's got a ferret. We need to sell it. If anybody's, I'm trying to give this ferret a home." And we're all like, "No, we're really sorry, we can't take a ferret." She goes, "Oh, no worries, but if you know anybody, let me know." And we're like, "Okay." And then she just sort of walked off, and we're all a little bit baffled about what she'd said to us, but it was really nice that she spoke to us anyway. Then towards the end of this scene, like towards the end of this week, when we started to wrap up this scene, and it was the part where the Death Eaters come in, they started bringing in these like almost like trays, and it had fire on them, so they would turn it up and it'd be if there's explosions, and that's when the Death Eaters obviously attack the tent and the wedding, and it's really sad, that part, but it was really intense because you had to run in certain directions and look really scared of what was actually going on at that time, which was really cool. But that was really interesting because you're sort of running on this pretend fake grass and trying to run to something that's not there because the Weasley house was not there. So which brings me on to this bit, which was the night shoot. Now I've got a nice little picture of that night shoot just here to show you. So this night shoot was only done in one night. So it was about a week after we'd finished filming the whole of the scene for the Weasley wedding, and we were called to the night shoot, and you turned up at like 8 o'clock at night. You had dinner, they gave you dinner. Again, they were so incredible with food. You got yourself changed, makeup, hair, the usual, and then they say, "Right, okay, we're going to take you outside to a location." The location was the Weasley's house, so we actually got to see the Weasley house, which was incredible. And with this, it was really cold, so they, in between takes, they would give you blankets, which was really nice, but when you didn't, it was freezing cold. And what we had to do was they'd put up the tent that again was inside the shelter before, that was all the previous videos and the filming, and they'd brought it outside, and they had to video and film us from above, running away from it, and obviously with the night sky, so it was true to what it was. And we all had to run towards the Weasley house, and then we sort of ran around the back and snuck in, and all then hid inside the house and had to wait there. But when you were inside, it was really interesting to see the set of the Weasley house, which is incredible. And then you looked up the stairs and it actually wasn't there, so it was all pretend. So obviously those bits they film on different parts and different bits of the area, but the stairs weren't actually there. It was all just the downstairs area of the Weasley house. Really small, really small. I thought it'd be a lot bigger than what it was, especially when you see it in the movies itself, but that was actually quite small. But that was fun. Yeah, so I think we wrapped up about 5 AM, and luckily my mum at the time, she wasn't working, so she came to pick me up. I was absolutely shattered, but it was so worth it. And with the night shoot, you get paid a little bit more money. I won't tell you how much I made for it, but it was nice doing it. It doesn't matter because it's the experience itself, which is incredible. Now, some of the other people that I got to meet, yes, was the lovely Rachel, who became an incredible friend of mine, Reggae, Alfie. Alfie's dad is in the movie. I'm sure you guys will know who Sirius Black is. So Alfie Oldman, his name is, his dad is Gary Oldman, and so we got to become really good friends with him. Reggae, John Page, which I'm sure some of you guys have heard of him before. Those that love Bridgerton, Reggae is really good. They're an incredible bunch of friends. And I remember there's lots of controversy at the time of people that somehow found pictures of the Weasley wedding, and they thought some of my friends were like some of the cast members like that had actual parts. When we went to the screening of the movie coming out, that was a great night, so we all went out. We went to the IMAX in London, which is incredible cinema to go to. I definitely recommend it. It's huge, absolutely huge, and we watched it there like in the middle of the night, and it was really incredible seeing us for the first time and where we were in the movie. Even though it was little bits, it didn't matter, we were still part of it, which is incredible. So that was my experience on the incredible Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 1. I really hope you enjoyed learning about my experience of working in this movie. Again, really privileged that I got to do that, and you know, from beginning to end, it was one of the best experiences of my life. If you've got any questions you want to ask me, please put something in the video, in a comment in the video, and I will get back to you as soon as possible. Any questions you have at all about what it was like. There's so many stories, so many other things to tell you, but I wanted to keep it kind of short. I mean, it's going on like a half an hour video, but it doesn't matter because I know those of you that are Harry Potter fans will hopefully like this video. So yeah, any questions, let me know. And again, thank you guys so much for watching today. It's been really great talking to you about this experience, and I hopefully see you all soon. Bye bye.